Hello and welcome to another Baselight tutorial. Today we're going to have a look at two different keys within Baselight, the D key, and we're going to have a look at the HueAngle key, and we're going to talk about how to use them and maybe when you'd want to use one of them over the other. So to start off with, you can see that we have a nice color gradient that we're going to make some selections from. I'm going to start off with the HueAngle key. I'm just going to go ahead and hit the H button on the keyboard, and you can see that automatically creates my grade layer, my HueAngle key strip, and my reference. You can see that if we click up here, the key is referring to our raw image output, which is what we want. Fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and select my HueAngle key, and I'm going to make a selection by just clicking and dragging. You can see that this color wheel adapted and changed. Again, if I make another selection, you can see this jumping about. So this is a visual representation of your selection. I'm going to go ahead and just hide my matte operators. If I wanted to add to this key, I could hit the Shift, click and drag button, and you can see that broadens out my key. Again, I could Shift click again. If I wanted to tweak my selection, I can go ahead and change any of these hue values, saturation values, and value values. In other words, the color, the saturation, and the luminance. Also, I could go ahead and manually adjust this color wheel here, and I can manually adjust this luma bar down the bottom. So this adjusts our value. I can go ahead and tweak these parameters. Also as well, there is some presets here. If I wanted to automatically select my red hues, I could just click the red button, magenta, yellow. There's also 3 luminance selectors down here. So if I hit lows, it just selects my low values, mids, and highs. Now with these 3, you can see that the saturation and hue toggles have actually been turned off. You can manually turn off the hue saturation value as you see fit. So you could just pull a saturation key, just pull a hue key, or most commonly, you could just pull a luminance key. So the HueAngle key is pretty versatile. However, the HueAngle key does have a downside. Say, for example, I wanted to key this man's shirt, bluey green hues, and I also wanted to make a selection of these red purpley hues. So I'm going to go ahead, hold down Shift, and make another click drag. But you can see that to select these red hues, it also had to select the yellow hues, and I don't want these yellow hues to be affected. I just want this shirt and these reds to be affected, but I can't get a clean key. This is a case where the D key might have more luck. Okay, so to create the D key, I'm going to create a grade layer with the keyboard shortcut P. We're currently on our grading tab, but if I go ahead to this matte tab, we have all the matte operators on a list. You can see our HueAngle key here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this D key, and you can see it creates our D key strip and our reference. Again, this reference is pointing towards our raw clip, which is good. I'm going to go down to the D key. So the D key is a little bit different. When you make a click drag selection, what it does is it creates a volume, a color volume, and we can actually manipulate this display with a middle mouse button, and I can command middle mouse button drag in. In the Baselight manual, they describe this as a sausage, which is hilarious. This is a 3D representation of our selection in this 3D color box. And again, if I want to zoom back out, I can just hit the home button. Every time you make a selection, and I'm going to turn on the overlays with the O key. Every time you make a selection here, it creates another volume. So I can go ahead and click and drag over these selections, and you can see that I've already made 4 volume selections in the D key. What's really cool about this is I can go back to all of our specific selections that we made, and I can tweak these parameters. So I'll go back out to volume 4, zoom in a little bit. You see that I'm tweaking this offset. I can tweak the radius, which is the thickness of the sausage, if you will, and you can see what that's doing to the image display and our key. And I can also adjust the softness, which is our roll-off. So really powerful parameters here, and you can adjust these on a per volume basis. And the D key adds all of these volumes together to make our final selection. I'm going to go ahead and remove all of these volumes just by clicking one by one, and you can see our volumes are being deleted. And now we're going to redo the example that we had before. So I want to select this shirt, so I'm going to go ahead and select a couple of volumes here for the shirt. Nice. You can see the selection's gone a bit far, so to remove that, I'm going to hit Shift, click and drag. Shift, clicking and drag creates the volume, but it detracts that volume from the key. So Shift, click and drag, let go. That will remove the selection by creating a volume, and just normal clicking and dragging, that will add. So again, Shift, click, will remove. So I've got my green, blue shirt selected. Now I want my red selected again. So if I go ahead and click and drag, you can see now we're not getting any cross-contamination with our key with these yellow hues. These color volumes are completely separate from one another, and there's nothing like the spill that we were getting with our HueAngle key. In summary, the HueAngle key is great for simple selections, and the DKey is better for more complicated selections. If you've enjoyed that, I am offering Baselight coaching. Feel free to go check that out. It's in the link below. But otherwise, subscribe, like, share this video with your other post-production nerdy friends. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.